in our proposal, we actually call for the creation of a commission. So the duty of the commission is to actually come in and make these decisions. And actually the processes for requesting information is that we have said that you need to get a response within X number of days. Unless it's a life and death situation, then it should be by 48 hours. So given the kind of information that is in doubt, so the commission will have to make decisions within that time frame lah. So they cannot take like 2 years to decide or whatever. Because when you make a request, you must get a response within the stipulated time in here. Our proposal was 30 days lah, for non-emergency information. So we hope that Penang will follow suit immediately, since they're also being attacked on sand issue. Might as well just have an FOI law lah, you know. But all Pakatan Rakyat states should, because despite the challenge from the federal state structure, Selangor has gone through with it, and I think it's political will lah. So we really applaud them for that. So there's no reason why the other 3 states cannot do it. You have one done already, so they should just take it, amend it a little bit, and then just
at least table it for discussion.
Table it for discussion.
For the public, what they want to know most of all is decisions, especially decisions that affect them. Yes, like Derek mentioned, you don't want the full debate to be out in the public domain, but you can have minutes written to communicate important decisions that the public has a right to know. And to my mind, unless the information is of affecting national security or a time-sensitive thing, it should be published ASAP. Minutes of council, committees, even minutes of, to my mind, EXCO, state EXCO. Once they're met and the minutes are confirmed, to my mind, it should even be published, provided the minutes are simple enough to communicate decisions. You do a search, you can find the minutes of council meetings in the UK on the internet. Simple minutes, decisions made, action by who. You don't have to have the whole debate there. You can have a file where you keep the debate for record. If somebody needs to search, fill up a form, like that's the formal search. But we should make an attempt to have it out in the open.
There are several provisions within the Constitution itself which can give powers to the state. So you have, for example, 73 and 74, which talks about what is, the powers of the state. That will then, you will see in the 9th schedule, where it lists out what are the federal issues and what are the state issues. Then there's also 77, which says there's residual power of legislation, where the state can also can legislate. As far as we are concerned, we think that there is sufficient opportunities within that itself to allow for this, because I think a lot of people see it as unconstitutional because it goes against the OSA. Not that it's unconstitutional because the Constitution doesn't allow. So they see it in the perspective of OSA. Now the OSA deals with information that is official secret. It doesn't say information, it says official secrets. This is a law that governs official secrets. Whereas what we're looking at is information that is actually in public interest that should be made available. Now, the OSA does have a provision that says that you can classify and declassify. We are saying, why should it rest in the hand of the minister or the Menteri Besar, where by right it should be all information should be available, but where certain conditions arise, then you need to justify why it should be like classified or whatever. So I think it's very, very important to see that this is not unconstitutional because there's the Official Secrets Act, because the Official Secrets Act is about official secrets. The state can say, no, we don't want these official secrets. We don't need this because this is information about town planning, this is information about whatever, why should it be official secrets? We are not even we don't want to classify it. So we are taking that responsibility or that powers away from a few individuals and saying that our starting working principle is it should be made available, but if there are problems, then we can decide on that. So first one is, I think the Constitution allows, there is sufficient provisions for that, and secondly, the OSA is about official secrets, it's not about information as a broad thing. Derek wanted to.
Perhaps Mr. Native had it, research on Official Secrets Act. First of all, it's constitutional. Yes, it is. There's constitutional power for the state to regulate the disclosure of its own information. There's no issue there.
Yeah.
The issue which they are sort of hinting on is the Official Secrets Act being a federal enactment and the Freedom of Information Act being a state enactment. There may be a situation where the information is covered under the Official Secrets Act, and it would be unconstitutional for the state enactment to override the classification under the Official Secrets Act, because the federal constitution says in areas of common interest, the federal law prevails over the state law. That may be correct insofar as the information specifically falls within the schedule. I think the second or first schedule, official pertaining to national security, so on and so forth. But a lot of the classification under the Official Secrets Act is actually left in the hands of the state. That it is left in the hands of, it can be declassified tomorrow by the Menteri Besar or the declassification officer. So what the state should do is then, once the enactment is passed, it would then streamline the declassification procedures under the Official Secrets Act with the intent of this legislation, basically declassifying those things which are not specifically pertaining to issues of national security. So it can do that, and that will basically take care of almost
A lot of information.
all of the stuff around, you know. I mean, the very limited scope of the last schedule. I think you got the schedule there at the back of. That's where the minister has the power to classify.
Very limited.
It's very limited. Okay?
Having been in the council for 2 years, I almost never come across any paper or any discussion which is top secret. To give you an example, if you need information about tenders that have been submitted to the council, which has not been decided on yet, to me that should be secret until a decision is made, and then you should publish the information. But other than that, there is very rarely a situation where there's secret. But the way our government machinery mindset works is everything is a secret. What Dato' Banda had for breakfast this morning is a secret, unless it's declassified. That's what we want to change.